Hey Golf Gang, and welcome to a Path of Exile video. This is going to be my League Starter video on how I intend to do 3.18 League Start and the League itself. For the first time since Heist was introduced, I will not be starting with a Heist build. I want to change something, so I am going to be running an Inquisitor RF. This is the character I've been practicing on in solo self-found standard. Let's get to my hideout. First of all kudos and appreciation goes to Pohx. This character is based on his Righteous Fire Inquisitor guide, which I will link below. I'll also link his stream below. Great guy. If you want to do anything RF, he's the go-to person for that. This is a different approach to his character and his build. I even use 90% of his path of building for this character. So I just want to put that out there. There's no plagiarism here. Full credit goes to Pohx. So this is level 60 character. I've just grabbed the moon orb. So I'm in Act 8. I am way over leveled. But that's because of the way this character levels. You just happen to get a lot of passive XP, and I've not found a really way to do that. It is very slow going through Act 1. I'm averaging about 30 to 35 minutes for the act, and that's mostly me because I spend way too much time in town. I'm getting to the point now, as you can see, where I'm not getting important waypoints, and also realise there's a couple of quests I can skip that are not mandatory to do right away, and you can come back when you've got your Uber movement speed. Act 2 is a little bit better once you start getting, and then you get to Act 3, I think it is. Let me just look up a file I've got. League Start, Righteous Fire League Start. Yeah, once you get to killing Grevious in Act 3, you get Vortex, and that's it. You kick off. These 3 acts have taken me on average between 30 to 35 minutes. Act 2 is, for me, about 35 to 40 minutes. And then you get to Act 3 and you kind of, by this point I've got all my links. I've done League Start on this character in this format 6 times, and by Act 3 I've then got all my links. The problem I'm having is trying to find for blue twice, which can be a bit difficult, and I've just not had any dropping, so I've had to search vendors, which takes time even with the string. So yeah, it doesn't bode well for me, but I don't mind that. Once we hit Act 4, you've got all your links, and you've got Vortex as well, and then you just rip through Act 4. I'm down to about 25 to 27 minutes on Act 4. Act 5 is my favourite act. I always complete this within 20 minutes, regardless of the build I'm using, so that's nice and easy. Act 6 is a lot slower, purely because what we do as soon as we get to Lionized Watch, we complete Lilith's quest. Oh, where is she? There she is. We complete Lily's quest, and at that point we can buy all our gems and start leveling up the gems for the Righteous Fire transition. Excuse me. And that can take a bit of time because you've got to do some slight re-gearing. At this point you then need to be looking for these kind of setups, blues and reds, shield, and I choose Scepter. Wand is probably better, but I prefer Scepter because I don't know, just the implicits are better. And then into Act 7 you're kicking off, because by this point you really should be into getting Cruel Lab done, and that's when you transition into RF. So somewhere between Act 6, 7, maybe Act 8, depending on your level. It's got to be, you've got to be able to clear Cruel Lab. So I was able to do that on this character at level 52 with my Wintertide brand and Vortex set up, and I was just kicking off. By that point, I had linked Frostbite, not Frostbite, sorry, Frostblink with Hex Touch, and what was Frostbite with Life Tap, and I took Life Tap out for lab just in case, and I was able to go through that quite easily, get Cruel Lab done, got my got my Pious Path, and that's it, job done, into RF, which is why I axed. One of those acts will take you a long time depending on what level you get to. On this one, I transitioned at the end of Act 7, I think it is. Yeah, I got all the way to the Val City here, and then I went on down Cruel Lab. You could probably get it done, right? And at the beginning of Act 7, depends on your competency and your level. If you know you can get it done, you've got the gear. And you've got the expertise, then as soon as you hit Bridge Encampment, go and do Cruel Lab and get your RF transition, and that'll make Act 7 a lot easier. Once you get into Act 8, which is where I'm halfway through now, it becomes so easy, because you've got your RF running, you've got your Scorching Ray going, and you've got, if you can afford it, you've got your Malevolence Life Tap going. Meow, and things die. Half the time I'm not even using Scorch Ray, I've got RF going, and I pop the Malevolence, and the rares just die. By this point you've picked up your Ruby Flask. That's the first quest reward you get from the Flask quests. Then you go for your Granite. At this point then you also don't need a Mana Flask, because everything's on Life Tap. So there you can fit in whichever flask you need. If you get an Amethyst Flask, you can pick that up. Because we run, I'll go through the gems in a minute, but resistances really aren't a problem with this character. So yeah, and I'm going to finish off this run today and see how far I've got. I am ridiculously slow. This is the first time really I've done it, but also please bear in mind that I'm a carer for my disabled wife and child, so sometimes I could be in the middle of Path of Exile and they'll need me, so I have to get up and go and help them, and that can be a while as well, so my play time may be skewed by that. Also, additionally, yesterday when I was playing this character, I was tired and kept on napping whilst logging, so just bear that in mind. Death wise, 7 times, every single time it's my fault. So 3 or 4 of those I've woken up from an impromptu nap and I was dead. So yeah, there's that as well. So this is what the character I'm going to be starting. Let's go through. My POB will be at the bottom of this thing, and again this is based off of Pohx, his RF character, so please go and check him out for any of the usual RF builds. So at this stage at Act 8 we are running with a Scepter. You want burn damage and fire damage, which you can get on your crafting bench, as this is SSF. You can't get burn yet, but you can get increased fire damage, so the idea is to grab a Scepter and then preferably a normal one, and then try and get burn damage rolled on there, and then put fire damage on there as well, and that's your 2-stat Scepter, which will see you through to maps. We run in here Malevolence with Divine Blessing and Life Tap. You can't set this up until you've done Lilith, which is why in Act 6 we go and do the Lilith quest first, so we can get our gems and start leveling them up. You then need 3 4 links, as you can see on here, 3 blue, 1 red. So in the gloves I've got my Scorching Ray, Infused Channeling, Controlled Destruction and Life Tap. In the boots, as we've seen, I've got Frostblink, Hex Touch, Life Tap, and then if you're at the Vortex Wintertide brand it's Frostbite. If you're in the RF setup it's Flammability. In the shield we've got Increased Area of Effect, Herald of Ash and Tempest Shield. Tempest Shield is levelling up. In the In the body armor, we've got our elemental focus, supporting righteous fire, increased area effect, and life tap. In the helm, we've got the other auras, so we're running determination, defiance banner, purity of elements, and that would be an enlighten for trade league. In our offhands, we've got our other gems leveling up for future transitions, so we've got burning damage and combustion support for when we get a 5 link. In trade, I'd probably already be in a 5 link by now. And then later we've got our fire trap and trap and mine damage support ready for our transition into fire trap. As for the auras, the ones I've chosen to activate is purity of elements. That is, as soon as you get that goes on, and that's it. That's the only aura you run for a few acts until you start getting the relevant mana reservation nodes, and then you can start putting on things like Defiance Banner, and then once you've got and Tempest Shield, and then once you transition to RF, Tempest Shield gets turned off, Determination and Herald of Ash gets turned on. And then it's just a matter of leveling up and trying to get that Enlighten, or progressing through the tree to the Herald nodes to pick up the mana reservation there, and you can then turn on Tempest Shield. That's the gem setup. As for the passives tree, normal lab we take Sanctuary, and then Cruel lab we take Pious Path. Mark lab we aim for Righteous Providence, and then for Uber Lab, I don't know, but I will bring up the POB and tell you. Where is Uber Lab? There it is. Yeah, then we take Augury of Penitence. I've had to change the path of building because I didn't have enough regret orbs and refund points to get rid of these last 4 nodes, so the POB is now amended to make it easier for this transition. What you end up doing is you come through here and grab Retribution, and then up here through here to grab Runesmith and Runebinder, the AoE nodes, and then you come down through the life here and then start coming down here for this life node here. By that point you should be ready to transition into RF. And then you take these nodes along here as well, so when we remove these nodes here, we are still connected to the passive starting node. And this is how you look at to the level I am at. So we've got Amplify, Retribution, Discipline, Training, Sanctity. We come down here for Tireless, Arsonist, and the next fire dot there. We take Divine Shield, the Devotion Wheel with plus 50 max life, and we come up, we take Divine Judgment with 40% increased effect of non-damage elements. We've got Sovereignty with the Mana Reservation. We take the entire Sovereignty Reel with the Mana Reservation Mastery. We take the entire Purity of Flesh Reel and the entire Holy Fire Wheel with the Fire Dot minus Fire Res Mastering. We've also got Hearty, Barbarism, Juggernaut with the Determination mana increase, Resin for Sheep. I've also taken these 2 nodes to pick up the dual socket for Conqueror's Efficiency. I was kind of hoping that would be enough mana to get Tempest Shield if I took off Defiance Banner, but it isn't. Not quite. So every time I level up, I'm going to check that out to see if I can get Tempest Shield on. Defiance Banner is kind of like the last banner you're the last one you want on, really. Tempest Shield does a lot better. Because we end up going block, because we take Sanctuary over here. So we end up going block, and we end up taking Glancing Blows. So we get full attack block, and depending on gear rolls, you can get full spell block attack, spell block as well with Glancing Blows. It's a GB block, so but still it works. So yeah, that's where we're at level 60. I'll pop the POB down below. Once I've got into red maps and I'm poning everything, I will switch into a heist build So I'll save all my heist stuff up. Don't worry, I'm going to do heist this league. I will run the my raider for high level heisting, not the low level one. I may do that as well later in the league, just to generate some chaos via the chaos recipe and to get some currency, div cards, etc. But that's way later in the league. I'm not sure if this plan is going to work. I've always league started with a endless heist build since heist started, so it's going to be interesting for me not to do that. This character is fully capable of doing heist, even as the Vortex Winterbrand variant pre-RF transition. You can run heist, it's not a problem. It's just very slow. There's no movement on the movement speed on the tree, so you're literally running with your Quicksilver flask and whatever movement speed you manage to get on your boots. I only dropped one additional Quicksilver, so I used one Quicksilver, the original one, to buff my boots to 10%, and then another one to get 15%. But then I dropped these, so these still had 15% movement speed, but obviously they've got a bit of life on and a little bit of intellect, and then I was able to slap on the lightning resist. So that's why I've ended up with these. And then I've only got one, depending on how many Quicksilvers I drop. Once I had 6 Quicksilvers drop, including the one, so I had 7 Quicksilvers. So I had 30% move speed boots by doing the recipe. If you don't know what the recipe is, you can sell a pair of boots with a Quicksilver and an Orb of Augmentation, and it guarantees movement speed boots. If it's a white boot, anything, any magic rare, it'll turn it into 10% move speed boots. Another Quicksilver with another orb on those 10% move speed will go up 15, 20, 25 and then 30. They are locked behind your level, so just be careful once you're doing the recipe to check the level that you can actually wear them. It does say when you do the recipe that it can change the sockets and the number of sockets and the links. It never has. I don't know if that's a bug or an error, but it never has with me since I've been doing this, so I'm not sure. I always get to Act 2 and sacrifice one of my Quicksilver flasks to if I haven't got movement speed boots by then, to guaranteed movement speed boots. I would rather have 10% move speed in town and hideout regardless, and a Quicksilver rather than 2 Quicksilvers. So that's probably why I'm so slow going through the campaign. Anyway, that's what I'm up to this league. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll pop the POB down below, and also link excuse me, Pohx's RF guide below and his Twitch channel. Shout out to Pohx, great guy, brilliant RF guy. Excuse me. And yeah, look forward to some more heist. I will cover this character's kind of journey through League Start at certain points, depending on how tired I am and how much I play at League Start, and then I'll start pumping out new heist videos, because there's no changes to builds. I suspect it will still be the same builds. I've got my eye out on a couple of content creators who are running Scion heist builds with ridiculous movement speed, so as soon as I can get hold of that tech I will share it, because you know, I think it's nice to be able to share these new build ideas, etc. This will be the last video now before League Start, unless anything comes up, I spot any changes to Heist. If you want to join in the Heist community, please go into Discord or the TFT and join the Heist discussion. We're having a great laugh there. Quite a few people are getting involved in the conversations now, rather than it just kind of being myself answering all the questions. It's really good. And there's some different strategies coming up. Not always do I remember to include them in my videos due to my medical conditions. Now, there is one other thing. If you didn't know about this, I will... Where is it? There it is. This is a search string. So on day 1, you can say you're after red, and something. or green and something, or 3 red, 3 green. You click on the relevant ones. I'm going to click on the ones which I need for this character, which is 3 blue, blue, red, and then I want movement speed boots, and then any 4 links because that it's easier, right? And then you can also look for your wands as well if you wanted to. You can then copy that, and it gives you a string up here. You can grab that like this, okay, and then put that in another document, or hold it on your copy. You go into the game, where is Pohx? Oh, there it is. So we'll go in here, we'll pop to the vendor, which is Hagen even. Purchase items, oops, missed purchase items, click in the box, click paste, and then it will show up any of the links. There we go. So there's the 4 green, that's the any 4 link I was looking for, because I just want a 4 link because that'll show up any chromatic orbs as well, and it'll highlight the ones you want, so then you can just grab them and you've got a 4 link. Or at League start in Act 1 you'll have 3 links. So it's a really great tool. Kudos to whoever did it, and I just thought I'd put that in. I'll throw the link down for that as well in the description below. See you in the next one after League start.